Bum 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 bum. The Peter Dislike Show. Bum 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 bum. All right, please continue to pray for me by leaving a dislike on this video. Pray that I meet the right one before Valentine's Day 2025. And I actually have besides the fact that it's Valentine's Day, there's another issue on hand of why I chose that as my target date, my new target date. And so I have a new reward. Somebody claimed the last one. This is one of my oldest pieces. I made this early in my career. It's so old, it probably has a few atoms of thallium, actually, more than a few atoms of thallium in it. But anyway, somebody claimed the Ganesh and the geode. It wasn't a very successful date. I was at a Christmas party today, and the host sat me down and introduced me to her daughter. And long story short, didn't go well. But the host is Filipino, so she made her best effort. So I had to give her the Ganesh and the geode. And so now this is now going to be season 6 reward for anybody who can set me up on any date. Remember, it doesn't have to go well. The point is to throw the dragnet as far and wide as possible, right? Because I think statistically, 1 out of every 100 is a match, right? So as long as I mingle with 100 people, right, even ones that are immediate flops like the one today, right, it still felt good to have the conversation, right? And so I'm offering us a reward, one of the first things I ever made in my bismuth art career. You can calculate how much thallium this thing. Actually, I teach Calc 1, pre-calc as well. And last semester, I wrote as an extra credit question. You have a 1 kilogram piece of bismuth that's a year old. How many atoms of thallium does it have? And a few students actually tried to do that problem, and some got pretty close, actually. So that was nice. At the time, my bismuth art career was only 1 year old, so I wrote 1 year ago. And so that was nice very, very nice rapport that I have with the students. But here's the thing. I choose Valentine's Day for another reason, besides the obvious fact that it's Valentine's Day. I had an upset. Well, I have a lot of upsets every year that I'm single because of a lot of discrepancies in life, right? So, for example, I teach in Apache Junction right now, but all of my social activities are in downtown Phoenix, or at least in the city area, and I have to think where to live. I would much prefer to be closer to the downtown side of things, but I only have one income to pay, the rent, right? And my car insurance bill comes twice a year, and I don't need to tell you guys, these last 3-4 years have been brutal on car insurance premium rates, right? Um, and supply chain issues and all that. And that's if you're lucky enough to not have caused any drama, right? If you get into an accident, speeding tickets and all that. And funny thing about speeding tickets is that so many people fight speeding tickets nowadays because of the insurance. Sometimes they drop the cases because they can't take all the cases. I had one case that was just outright dropped, and like, don't bother about it anymore. So that was nice, right? Can you imagine paying a ticket that would have been dropped had you just said that you're going to fight this in court, right? How stupid you would feel, right? I had a ticket for my lights not working, and they dropped it. So now imagine just paying that. It was probably not going to be a very high ticket, right? But it would have hit your insurance. But anyways, every August and February, I get my car insurance bill, and it's always a shock. And well, the bill is due August and February, but usually it comes a month before the bill is due, and so the clock is ticking on that. And every time I open it, it's like a gender reveal. Like I get an email, your car insurance statement is ready, and I'm nervous about hitting the email. And it almost feels like a gender reveal. You're at the doctor. We know the gender of your baby. Do you want to know it? It really does feel like that. It really does. And I liken it to that. Or maybe it's I can't think of another. Or you get your report card, right? Right before, your report card's sealed up, and you're about to open it. You know, how do you feel when you get that, right? Or maybe when I was fighting that speeding ticket, right, when I got the letter from the court, just before I opened it, right, and then, oh, your case is dismissed, right? But before I opened it and saw that, It was a completely different feeling, right? Or you get an email from somebody you're dating and or a text and you're worried what's in it, right? Or you get an email from work, right? Did you just get fired or did you get promoted? Or any number of things, right? You get a margin call on your meme stock investments, right? And so it's very upsetting. I have a friend from church who's married, and they pay less to insure two cars than I do to insure one. And it's not like I have any accident. I haven't had an accident since 2016, right? Since last time Trump was president, or actually before Trump was even president. It was Obama. I haven't had an accident since Obama. Plus, they probably have better insurance than I do. They uh, I guarantee they probably have an umbrella car insurance, right, with liability, because they have good assets. They probably have lower deductible. I have crazy deductibles. I think 2,000, 2,500, in large part because I don't want to jeopardize my insurance anyway. I'm hardly going to claim it if it's going to be 1,000, 1,500, and yet they pay less than I do, right? Maybe they don't have full coverage. It's hard to say because they're the kind of people who could just write a check to buy another car anyway. They drive a beater, so who knows? It could be that. So, anyways, it'd be nice to be able to share my bills with. So, yeah, I would live so much closer to the downtown area if I had another income, right? Or I do have another income, but I don't have somebody else to take care of the household. And oftentimes I have to go out to eat. I have to overextend myself in order to fit everything into my schedule. And people forget, how many jobs do I have? Well, I have to provide for both incomes that a two family household does, right? Plus, I have to look for that life partner. And plus, I have to cook all of my meals. I'm really juggling four jobs, right? A lot of people forget that, right? And that's why I'm offering a reward for anybody to set up a date, right? And so I'm offering this bismuth crystal that is heavily contaminated with thallium because of how long it's been out there, right? I'll let you do the calculation, right? Let's say I'll say this thing weighs about 2 kilograms and it's 2 years old. So leave a comment, calculate how many atoms of thallium you can expect to find in this thing, right? And maybe a few atoms of other stuff as well, right? Because thallium 205 likely has a very long half life as well, right? And so does some of the other things that it decays into, right? I suspect bismuth actually eventually becomes gold because you have thallium 201 and then gold 201, which is unstable, which becomes platinum 201, and then mercury 201, which becomes platinum 197, which becomes gold 197. Uh, do you think offering a reward to find dates would work for women as well? Well, here's the thing. The idea of the reward is to get things moving, right? A lot of people, oh, I want that. I want that. That's why I never offer cash as a reward. I offer something that's fascinating, right? It gets the, I want it. I want it. What can I do for it? Thing going, right? And that's why I would never offer cash for any of these things. All right, so season six, a bismuth crystal contaminated with some number of atoms of thallium, or maybe even gold, up for grabs now. This is the Peter Dislike Show. Bum 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 bum. The Peter Dislike Show. Bum 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 bum. Bum 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 bum. The Peter Dislike Show. Bum 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 bum. Bum 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 bum. The Peter Dislike Show. Bum 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 bum. Bum 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 bum. The Peter Dislike Show. Bum 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 bum.